Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to Wild Werewolf. Are you ready to embark on a wild and thrilling journey into the world of werewolves? Here, ha 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 ha. We'll explore the untamed nature, the raw power, and the captivating stories of these mythical creatures. So, get comfortable and let's unleash the wildness together. Prologue must read, D. In third person, Kate walks down a long hallway up to a door. She looks down at the tray with a cup of hot water with a couple tea bags beside it. She pushes the door open to see Jade laying on his bed, and he look at her walking in awe. Katie says with his deep yet calm voice. Sir, Kate says with a shaken voice. Isn't that my tea? I asked her. He sits up. Yes sir. She quickly walks up to him. Thank you. He takes the tray. Kate was just about to walk away. Sit with me, he tells her. Kate turns to his bed and sits beside him. Now since you've been here, I've never had a chance to really talk to you about your sister and yourself. Tell me about Jade. How old is she? He says. She's 17. She'll be 18 next week, Kate answers. How is she in school? He asks. She's number 1 in her class. Very smart. Good at everything. She's even in band and volleyball, Kate says. How about you? How old are you? He asks. 16, she says quickly. Young, but tall. How tall are you? He asks. 5'8", she answers. You know the youngest werewolves will start mating at 16, he tells her. Oh really? She looks away. Is your sister a virgin? He asks. Yes, she says. Okay. We're done here, he says. Kate stands up and takes one step. As she does that, Jade smells her. Wait, he says. Yes sir, she says without turning around. He stands behind her and places his hands on her waist and pushes her on into the bed on her stomach. She starts to cry silently. He rips off her shorts and then her panties. He growls at her and feels up her back. I have one more question for you, he says. Sir, she says with her voice hoarse. Are you a virgin? He says as he thrusts into her. Kate screams to the top of her lungs. Chapter 17, The Weekend. Jade P. O.V. We're at the mall in some makeup store. For some reason, Victoria wants me to buy some MAC lipstick, and I don't think I want to pay $3,040 for some lipstick. How about I just get covered here? I try to convince her. I think I agree with Victoria on this. MAC will be so much better, Sasha says. Thank you. We want you to look perfect for your birthday, Victoria says. Fine, I say, and grab some red lipstick. No, sweetie, Sasha says. You don't need blood red, Victoria says. Sasha grabs a different color red. Cherry red, she says, handing it to me. I don't know what's the difference, to be honest. We started to get hungry, so we headed to the food court. I would kill for some Japanese food right now. Sasha and Victoria went to Subway and we all sat at a table together. This Japanese food is so good. I noticed that Victoria wasn't really eating. Hey, what wrong? Are you sick? I ask. Oh no. I'm fine. I'm not really hungry anymore, she says, looking down at her food. You were just hungry a minute ago, Sasha says. I know. I shouldn't have bought this whole foot long. I'm trying to watch my weight, she says. For what? I ask. I'm not skinny, if you haven't noticed, Victoria says. I'm not skinny either, I tell her. You have curves, boo. You should love them. And you're not fat. You're thick and guys love it, Sasha says to her. Not my ex. He called me fat the other day. And so did Amanda, Sasha repeats. That moment when I almost forgot that the guys came with us. They all walked up to us. And we didn't even notice. Amanda, I repeat. Yes, she talked about my thighs and how big my hips are, she says. Amanda, Sasha is a little angry. Don't listen to her, we heard Oliver. Sasha looks behind herself to see Oliver stand behind her. Hey baby, she smiles. Vincent slips in an empty chair between me and Victoria. There were 2 more seats between Sasha and Victoria, and the other 2 slipped in those. Why are you guys talking about my ex? Oliver asks. Our ex, Vincent says, smiling. Shut up, Oliver says, chuckling. She was very easy. She wasn't good though, Vincent says, still smiling. She called Victoria fat, Sasha says, crossing her arms. Fat, Vincent asks. Yes, Sasha. What fat? I don't see rolls through her shirt. Or love handles on her back. The only love handles I see is the one she's sitting on. He smiles at Victoria. Thanks, Victoria says, kind of shy. In Brazil. The man will be all over you. And Jade Prince says, smirking at me. Hello, I hear my wolf in my mind. In other words, don't listen to Amanda. She's a serious hater that probably cries herself to sleep every night. The whole table starts to laugh after I say that. So I made it home. Mom and Dad are in the living room cuddled up on the couch watching TV. AWWW. I kind of wished I had that sometimes. Wait, I could have it. Prince is constantly hitting on me and I'm blocking it out. Like it's nothing. I hate that I'm doing this to him, but I don't feel comfortable with him yet. I headed to my room. I'm really exhausted. Prince V. Oh, V. I'm thinking IG about Jade. I think I'm a little too flirtatious towards her. But how else will I get her attention? Not being a douchebag. Bro, I hear my wolf. I'm glad I'm home. I can talk to him as much as I want. You suck, you know that I tell him. Keep on treating me like shit. I will take over your mind, he says. Don't do that, tell him. You know I will. Now use your head and get our mate. Before I use your other head to get her myself, he says. Damn it, as a Willie, I say with anger. Damn it, Raphael, he tries to copy me. Please stop calling me that. I'm no longer in Brazil. I have a new identity. And I don't need our dad to find out who I am, I beg him. Yep, he'll kill us both. The hell with that, he says, blocking me out now. My wolf is crazy. He doesn't understand. We need to stay undercover. My dad can be here at any time he wants. And he can kill me without a warning. Asa Willie is right. I do need to stop treating him wrong. He is a great gift the moon goddess has given to me. Damn right he cuts in. I chuckle at that. Even though her drives me insane. I love him. Love you too, bro, he cuts in again. Hey, you're either gonna talk to me or get out, my thoughts I say out loud. I shake my head at that. Chapter 18, Jade P. OV. Well, the week is passed very quickly and tomorrow is my birthday. Last night I had a weird dream about my sister Kate. Something doesn't seem right. In the dream I saw her cried in a dark space. I went to school, and it went by with a blink of an eye. During volleyball, Prince asked me to dinner tonight. For some reason I agreed to it even though in head I might know. I hate when that happens. I have to find something to wear. What to wear? What to wear? I look at the time to see it's 5:30. He's gotta pick me up at 8. Great, and I have nothing to wear. I look in my closet. God, I hate dresses, but that's what I really have to wear. Oh good, I found a black lace dress and I can wear my red pumps and maybe try my birthday lipstick. Before I jumped into the shower, I saw it was 600. Damn, it took 30 minutes to find something. What's wrong with me? 755. Well, I'm almost ready. For some reason, I couldn't get my makeup right. It's so hard to be a woman and look good. I grab my shoes and walk downstairs. I see my mom and dad in the kitchen making something together. They didn't notice me walking out the door. As soon as I lock the door behind me, I see a very nice all-black Every Dodge Challenger pull up. The window on the passenger side goes down and I see Prince. Yo, he says, smiling. I get in the car. His car smelled good. Wait, that's his cologne, I think. What's up, he says as he pulls off. Nothing, I look away from him. I look beautiful, he tells me. Thanks, I reply. Hey, you mind passing me my oak cord in my glove department, he asks. Sure, I said. I open the glove department to see a few condoms in there too. I look at him as he glanced at me. Sorry. I forgot they were in there, he says. I look back and quickly grab the cord and hand it him. He plugs it in his car and pull out his phone and turn on the Weekend-E. You don't mind the Weekend-E, do you, he asks. I don't mind, I tell him, looking out the window. I don't know what's wrong with me. I talk to him just fine in Greece. Now I can't even look at him. We drove for about 30 minutes to the city and he finally parked at a very tall building. He gets out the car and walks over to my side to open the door and helps me out. Even though I don't need help. I take another look at the building. Wait, this is a restaurant. I look at him confused. It's a restaurant, he says as if he read my mind. He takes my hand and I snatch it away. A little growl came from him, but he walks ahead of me. The building is amazingly beautiful on the inside. We make it to the elevator. I look at Prince for a second. I don't want to be alone with him on an elevator. I hear my wolf. Can't we take the stairs, I ask. You want to walk up to the 20th floor, he asked, a little annoyed. Damn it. Oh no, I say, while seeing the door opening, and I walk into the elevator and stand on the far right side. Prince walks in and after me and stands facing me on the other side, crossing his arm. He just stares at me the whole time we were on. As soon as the door opens to the 20th floor, he walks out. He walks up to a host and starts to laugh and talk to him. He knows him. You're on a date, bro, the host asks. Nah, he chuckles. I thought it was a date. Well, come on. Your table was already ready anyway. We got you the best private area ever. It has a view and everything. He starts to walk as we follow him. We make it to the private room. It had all glass walls so that we can see the city around us. Prince sits in his chair and I sit across from him and the host scoots my chair in. I thank the host and he walks out. Now I'm alone with Prince again. What do you want to drink, he asks. I don't know. But I have a question for you though, I says. Ask away, he says, looking down at the menu. This isn't a date, I ask. You don't want it to be, he says, not looking up. What does that supposed to mean, I ask. When we're in the car, first thing, we're not talking. I tried talking to you, but you didn't want to talk. And when you look at my condoms, you looked at me like I planned to fuck you or something. He gets cut off. Well, it's weird to have condoms in your car, I tell him. I'm a guy. I had sex before and I used to take condoms out just in case. Also, when I got out the car, I tried to grab your hand and you snatched it. That kinda hurt. When we were in the elevator, you act like I'm about to attack you or something, he says. I'm sorry. I just never really went on an actual date before, I tell him. Well, just relax and enjoy the night, he tells me. I was cut off. Shut up, he says in a calm voice. But I was cut off again when Prince reaches at the table and put his finger on my lips. Relax, babe, he says as he slowly takes his finger off. He's right. I do need to relax. He is paying for my food and he did take me out. So, Jade, have I told you that this is a Mexican restaurant, he asked, smiling at me. It's really nice, I tell him while I'm looking around the room. It's the best. My brother owns this restaurant. It's pretty cool, he smiles as he looked down at the menu again. What's the other floors for AKS? There's other restaurants. Different foods. Like Jamaican, Korean, Chinese, great, and Mongolian food, he tells me. Cool, I tell him. We sat and enjoyed conversations with each other. The food was great. I had these chicken tacos that were just amazing. And I actually drank some wine for the first time. After dinner, we went and walked the city. It was so peaceful. After the city, he took me home and now I'm in bed. I'm glad that Prince wasn't the type of guy who would force you into a kiss or anything. He was just chill and laid back. He looked so good with his long sleeve button-up shirt. He had the first few buttons unbuttoned, and his nice straight pants. It was a nice date. Chapter 19, JP. OV, be still and let me do your eyeliner, Victoria says. She's right. You need to look hot, Sasha tells me. All of this is not that crucial, I tell them, annoyed. Victoria finishes up my makeup. I'm low-key happy that she's doing my makeup, because her face is always flawless, even without makeup. Let me see, Victoria stepping back, checking every inch of my face. I'd say it's perfect, Sasha walking into my view. Get dressed, Victoria commands me. Y'all are not even dressed, I tell them. Don't worry about us. You shaved, right, Victoria asks. Yes, I tell her. Both legs, both armpits, and your puss, Sasha says. Oh, don't worry. She always keeps that shave better than everything else, Victoria says. Vicky, I yelled at her. It's true, Victoria says. That's good that you don't have a forest, Sasha chuckles. Leave me alone, I chuckle. Jade's party. Music. Food. Fun is all the words that I can put into my party right now. Everyone is having a great time. There's a lot of students here. Victoria has her ways of getting people where she wants them to be. I hung with her, Sasha, and the guys the whole night. And Vincent seems to have a thing for Victoria. As the party goes on, they finally had a chance to singing Happy Birthday. They pulled out my Harley Quinn cake. It was amazing. They who wanted cake took some, and I will be taking the rest home. Soon after, the party gets even more hyped when the DJ turns on Lean On by Major Lazer. And 1 minute I see Vicky, the next I don't. Where did she go? Vincent P. Oh, the ugh. I'm not really the party type. I need a cigarette break. So I walk into the trees where somehow I know it's super quiet. I go ahead to light up my cigarette and take a couple of puffs. Out of nowhere I hear crying. Now I think it's an animal. But wait, it's a girl. I look around for a second as the crying continues. Where is it coming from? Do just relax and listen, I heard my wolf. You're right, I say, calming down. I completely stopped moving good enough to hear where the sound is coming from. I run towards the sound to see Victoria on the ground. I throw myself on my knees to comfort her. What happened? I asked her. I was attacked, she says, while showing me her left arm. I didn't know we had wolves here, she tells me. I look at her for a second. Then look down at her arm as she continues to cry in pain. That not just a wolf's bite. A werewolf bit her, and I don't know whether it's deadly or to turn her. Sorry, I have to freak you out, I say in my mind to her. I held to my brother and Prince. Jade P. RV. I'm still not sure where Vicky went, but I hope she comes back soon. But out of nowhere, everything seems to go slow motion as something catches my eye. It's the man I seen in my dream. What was his name? Maddox Brady. Faded Nate. Lights flashed around me and my room spun with the beat of the heavy techno music the DJ was playing. He's here at my party and he's staring right at me with those evil eyes. I blink once and he's gone. I look over to see Oliver, Prince, and Sasha walking into the woods. What are they doing? I decided to follow them. As they walk right up to Vincent, and I stumble behind them knowing they hear me. Good, everyone is here, Vincent says. What is it? Asha asks. It's Victoria. She's been bitten, Vincent says. What I say as I push through the three in front of me. I look around Vincent to see Vicky on the ground, almost passed out. I run to her and put her in my arms. Vicky, I cried. She was bitten, Vincent says. By who? I asks. I don't know, Vincent tells me. It was probably you, I tell him. Take my arms off Vicky and I walk up to him. You did this. You hurt my best friend. You were the only wolf out here, I snap at him. I did not bite her, Vincent says, stepping back. A big growl came through my teeth. As I stepped closest to Vincent, I hear Vicky mumble something. I stop and run back to her. What was that? I ask her. He didn't do it, she passes out. I start to freak out as I see my best friend just laying on the ground. I will kill whoever did this, I yell out. Jade, we need to get her to a doctor. Werewolf doctor. We don't know if the bite is deadly or not. You need to calm down. Okay. Just long enough to make sure Victoria stays alive, Sasha says. I calm down quickly. Take her to my dad, I tell them. I start walking back with Sasha to the party while the guys stayed back to take Vicky to one of the cars. I talked to the DJ and told him to end the party, so to not make anyone upset. He told them that he was going to play one last song. Sasha and I start to grab my gifts and the rest of the food and stuffed it in my car. As everyone was leaving, we made sure the place was completely clean. I paid DJ and we headed back to the parking lot to my car. The boys had Victoria in an SUV. When I started driving, they of course followed. Within 10 minutes, we made it to my house. I saw Victoria in Vincent's arms, and we quickly busted in and put her on the couch in my living room. Dad, I scream out. He and my mom quickly came into the living room. What happened? My dad asked. She was bit, I tell him. My mom walks over to Vicky as everyone turned their attention to her. My mom kneels down beside her. Everyone was silent. My mom looks up at me with joy in her eyes. We have a new wolf, she says with a smile. She's turning, I ask. Welda. Einstein, I hear my wolf. Chapter 20, Jade P. OV. It's been a whole week since I've seen Victoria, and I miss her even more by the second. She was asleep every time I've called to check on her. I broke the news to her mom and she could care less. That bitch. Sasha. The guys. And I plan to see her after school. We all met up at my house. Gladly, my dad allowed me to use his SUV. We took a 20-minute drive to Luke's mansion. That's where he treated me as well. We made it, and as soon as I parked the SUV, I ran to the door and rang the doorbell. To my surprise, Victoria opened the door. I quickly jumped on her and hugged her tightly. She hugs me back, then put me down. She leads us to a greeting room with 4 big armchairs and the couches. Luke was already in the biggest armchair. Victoria sat at the edge to one of the couches to be close to him, and Vincent sits right beside her. Sasha and Oliver sits on the couch right across from them and cuddle up together. I sit on one of the armchairs right across from Luke, with Prince sitting next to me in another armchair. Victoria is just fine. Her wolf needed lots of rest. I've checked her from head to toe and she's absolutely healthy and strong. I've taught her the basics on how to turn and when you turn. She and her wolf are ready to go, Luke says cheerfully. Thank you, Drive. Luke, I tell him. Now I have another concern, and it's about you, Jade, Luke says. What is it? I look around first to everyone else, then lock my eyes on Luke. Now let me say that you've gotten a lot stronger since the first you left this mansion. Your physical health is great. Now as for your mental health, I cut him off. What is it, I ask? Lad, you are a queen. But have you found your king, he asks. What the hell? Why is he asking that? I'll stare straight at Luke. I can just feel Prince staring by me. To be honest, I want to say no. But deep down, I don't want to see Prince give up on me. I have to accept him as mine. It's time now. I know what your guys are saying. About time. But I have to do the right thing. I do have a king, I say to Luke as I grab Prince's hand. You will love having a mate, he says as he stands up. Also, I will see you all later. It's my tea time, he then walks away. I tighten my grip a little on Prince's hands. So warm and soft. Yet as I touch him, it sends chills down my spine. Like electric. Prinsky. Ovi. This is so amazing. Bro, we did it, I hear Rezueli. Yay, we did, I tell him in my mind. As I look at her small hand in mine, it took everything in me not to ruin this moment. Her soft touch make me want to press her down on the floor and just take her in front of everyone. Oh, how much I want to sink my teeth into her neck and claim as mine. All night. But I really just need to chill and keep her hand in mine. Vincent P. O.V. The smell of roses and morning dew hits my nose. This smell is so intoxicating. And then I realized, it's coming from the beauty next to me. Oh my goddess. I found my mate. I didn't think I'd ever find her. And here she is. I look up to see my brother staring right at me. We lock eye contact for a good 10 seconds until he looks away. He knows now. Does she know yet? Jade P. Oh V. So who wants something to eat? Because I don't know you guys, but I'm hungry, I tell them. Everyone stands up. Wait, what restaurant? Sasha asks. There's a diner not that far away from you, Oliver says. Cool. I've never been to a diner before, I tell them. Diner it is, Prince says. We made it to the diner only to figure out it's packed and each table only fits 4 people. So Prince and I sit at a table on the other side of the diner, while the other 4 sit together. I ordered some pancakes, while Prince ordered chicken and waffles. So I liked how you held my hand, Prince says, smirking. You're welcome, I tell him. For what, he asks. For finally accepting you, I tell him. He looks at me for a second. Even if you would have rejected me, I still would want you, and hope that you would change your mind, he says, looking in the eye. Wow, he cares that much. I'm glad that I did decide to give him a chance. He is kind of different. He doesn't force me into anything. And he's respectful. I didn't notice a smile creeping on my face. Why are you smile? He asks, smiling. Just thinking about you, I tell him. His eyes seemed to brighten a little after I said that. We just couldn't stop talking to each other after that. It was like our date all over again. Princeby. OV, I got her right where I want her. Wait, does that sound wrong? Oh well, she's officially mine now. Vincent P. OV, I don't know if this is me going crazy. Or it's really true that I found the one. I just hope she doesn't reject me. I am so willing to drop all my hoes and fuck buddies just to be with her and her only. I just have to commit. And show her I can be loyal no matter what female crosses me. I'll start today. Chapter 21. Next day at school. Vincent P. OV, well, another day of school. And yesterday since I officially found my mate. I will not have sex until it's with Victoria. Hayden sent. Baby, are we still up for Thursday? A girl comes up to me and asks. Oh shit. Harder than I thought. But I will not break. No, I tell her. How about next week, she asks. Nope, I tell her. When she asks. Never, I say, walking away. Free pussy has got out the window. Throughout the day, about 6 more girls asked me when we're doing it. I said no to every single one of them. Great job, Vincent. Such a great start to get our mates stressed, I hear Andre. Shut up. You know you enjoyed them just as much as I did, I said to him through my mind. Jade P. OV, today volleyball is in the weight room. Time to get more muscle. We had partners with us to help out with lifting. First, I only picked up 50 pounds. To light. Hey, can you give me another 50 pounds? I asks my partner. She simply puts another 50 pounds on the dumbbell. I lift it and it was still too light. Hey, I'm sorry. But can you add another 50? I ask. My partner once again adds another 50. It was still too light. Hey, can you add 1 pound? I can seem to focus when this stuff is top light, I tell her. But you'll be lifting to 150 pounds, she said, sounding confused. Please, I ask. She shake her head and adds 1 pound. She simply stand there trying to see if I can actually lift it. And like a feather, I lifted the 250 pounds with ease. How did you do that? She asks. I don't know. I just lift, I tell her. Sasha P. Oh, V. I lay beside Oliver in my bed. We skipped school and be alone today. I lift up to up at him. New position, I tell him. All right. What position? He says. Reverse cowgirl, I tell him. He look away from me and frowns. What's wrong? I says, sitting up and crossing my arm. We should cut down on the sex, he tells me. But Spidey. My fated mate. What splashed around me and my will spun with the beat of the heavy techno music the DJ was playing. Why, I ask. Every time we use a condom. It breaks, and after it breaks we stop caring. We're always going raw. And one day me pulling out will not work. I don't want you to get pregnant, he tells me. We're mates anyway, I tell him. We may be mates, but we haven't graduated school yet. I haven't even marked you yet, and we're not married. Your family already doesn't like me, and if I get you pregnant, they'll take you away from me, he says. Baby, I don't care about my family when it comes to you. If they loved me, they would accept you as my mate. But if you want to cut down the sex a little, I will agree. Just for you, I say to him. Thank you, he says, but how about another round for the road, I say, while climbing on top of him. He looks up at me for a second. Then quick grabs my waist and flips me over to my back, making his hip rest between my legs. He rubs my thighs softly. He sits there and look away, probably trying to fight the urge. While he does that, I reach for that long dick of his and slowly stroke it. He looked me in the eye. The eyes turn from beautiful gray to dark brown. I give him a smile, speeding up my stroking. He gives me a low growl, then kisses me roughly. He pulls back and looks at me again. Fuck it, he says through his teeth. He kisses my neck and found that perfect spot to sink his teeth. It hurt for a good 10 seconds and the pain subsided. After that, we just had some good rough sex. Jade P. OV, school S over now, time to go to work. I have to make up hours so I won't get fired. I've been working for a good 2 hours. But out of nowhere, this woman walks in with her clothes ripped and she was covered in dirt. She walks up to the officer across from me. Ma'am, what happened to you? He asks. I was attacked and raped, she cries. Whoa, he says, quickly standing up. Take my chair, ma'am, he continues and walks away to go get a report. He quickly walks back. Now, ma'am, tell me everything that happened, he says, starting to write. Prince P. O.V. I'm at home. At first I came here hungry. Now I have the urge to draw. I grabbed a huge poster board and just drew. When I was done, I couldn't believe what I just drew. I just drew a she-wolf. She's naked, but her long black hair is covering up certain stuff. She looks nothing like Jade, I hear resolutely. I wasn't trying to draw her, I tell him. Looks like it to me. You got the breast, ass, and hair right, he says. Fuck you, I tell him. You already know I can't draw that well. You draw just fine. You should get more into it, he tells me. Jade P. O.V. To this point, I was standing up and listening to this lady's story. She claims that she was first attacked by a wolf and that wolf turns into a human man. Ma'am, maybe you were imagining that. It's impossible for a wolf to turn into a man. But please describe the man, the officer says. Okay. He was a good 6'4". Probably at least 30 years old. With green eyes that just glowed in the darkness. Very muscular. He's white with his skin a little tanned. His hair was a clean cut. He had facial hair from the top of his lips going down to his chin, she decided. Why does the looks of this man sound familiar? That's Spidey, my fated mate. Lights flashed around me and the wind spun with the beat of the heavy techno music the DJ was playing. That's Brady, my fated mate. Lights flashed around me and the wind spun with the beat of the heavy techno music the DJ was playing. I walked over to my desk and sat down. Okay, ma'am. Well, an ambulance will be coming shortly to take you to the hospital. Over there. They will give you a rape kit, the officer says, filing the report. I cannot believe this. What does he know about me? Did he do this on purpose to see how I would react? Thinking back, he was at my party. And Victoria was attacked and bitten. Hold on. He turned Vicky. Oh shit. He's Vicky's master. He's really trying to get to me. Prologue in third person. Agatha walks into the castle where Jade stays. She walks up to him and hugs him. She takes an inhale of his scent, then pushes him away. Why do you smell like another woman, she asks. Because I had sex with another woman, he says, walking into another room, which was the dining room. He sits in one of the chairs at the very edge of the table. Agatha, sit on the other side of the edge. I don't know why you continue to cheat on your own mate, she says. I don't know, he says. Kate walks out, passing Agatha. Good enough for her to take a good smell. Kate hands Jade his food and quickly walks away and grabs more food for Agatha. Thank you, Agatha says to her. You're very welcome, miss. Agatha, Kate says. Also, Agatha says while quickly grabbing her wrist. Thanks a lot for sleeping around with my mate, she growls. Let her go, Jade says to Agatha. Why, she asked. Don't ask me why. Just let her go before I hurt you again, you tell her. Agatha, what's Kate? Whatever. I have some news for you, Agatha says. What is it? Jade starts to pay attention. Carla? She's not dead. She returned to my pack rounds to help Jade claim her throne, Agatha says. What? She's queen, Jade says with rage. Yes, I tried. Gets cut off by Jade. Tried what? Clearly she's queen now. That mean you've done nothing, he says. But she cut off again. Nothing. Now have you at least gotten any information about Jade, he asks. She has one powerful wolf. Oh, and she has found her mate, Agatha says. That's by my fated mate. Lights flashed around me and my wind spun with the beat of the heavy techno music the DJ was playing. That's by my fated mate. Lights flashed around me and my wind spun with the beat of the heavy techno music the DJ was playing. Are you serious? Why are you just now telling me this, he yells. I don't know, Agatha says, shaking. Jade slams his hands on the table with his anger, almost breaking it. He quickly gets up, walks over to Agatha's side. Do you remember the last time you made me angry, Jade asks her. She nods. He turns away from her, then turns back to slap her. She falls out the chair. That is just a little taste of what I will do the next time you make me angry. Now get out my house, Raid yells. Agatha picks herself up and runs out. Raid sits in his study. He looks up to see Kate standing in the doorway. Kate, come in, he does a hand gesture. Kate cautiously walks into the study and keeps her distance. Now tell me a little more about your sister, he says. Chapter 22, Stan P. Oh, Stan, I think we should find someone to train, Jade, Carla says. Who can we find? That we can actually trust, I ask her. Well, I will have to take you to his house, she said. Okay, let's go, I says to her. She snaps her fingers. Prince P. Well, I just took the best shower in forever. Now I'm kind of hungry. I slipped on some shorts and went downstairs to my kitchen. I looked in the fridge and found some leftover pasta from the other night. Perfect. I popped it in the microwave and started to eat. I should move to my table. I grabbed the container and turned around to see Jade's parents in front of me. I jumped a little, almost lost my food. Hi, Carla says to me. Hi, I say to her. We need to talk, Stan says to me. I put my food back on the counter and led them to my living room. We all sat. You live here alone, Carla asks. Yes, I answer. You did pretty good on your decorating, she says. Thanks. Now why are you guys in my house again, I ask. We were wondering if you could train Jade to fight, Carla asks. I says. I know, right? I'm wondering why she's asking you to, Stan says. I know exactly who you are. Raphael, she tells me. How? I was cut off. I used to be queen. I knew everyone. I helped my mother create you, she says. You were born into a horrible family, but I made sure that you were the kindest of them all. And you were the best fighter that your father has ever trained, she finishes. I'm okay, I say, not really knowing what to say. Rafael Arturo Santos Jr. Will you be willing to train your queen to fight the enemy, she asks. Yes, as long as you don't say the name around her. I hate that name, I tell her. You shouldn't, even though your father was the most fearless and emotional as alpha in the world. He was also the most powerful, she says. I will train her, I tell them. Good. Bye-bye, she says and snaps her fingers afterward. They both disappear before my eyes. The next day. Okay, I have to train Jade today. I hope I can do this. Jade, P. I woke up to my room being very bright for some reason. I sit up to see my mom sitting at the edge of my bed. Damn. Mom, you really have to stop doing that, I say, almost jumping out my bed. I have to tell you something, she says. What is it? I calm down a little. We found someone to train you how to fight, she says with a smile. Okay, I reply. Now get up and get ready. He'll be here soon, she says, get up and walking out my room, closing the door behind her. Ugh. That requires me getting up and I don't feel like standing. But I want to take a shower. Well, I'm almost ready to be trained. I just need to stretch before I do anything. So I walked out to the backyard. Prince P. Jade's mom let me in through the front door. I went through the house until I've gotten to the backyard. As I walk out, the first thing my eyes catch is a very fat ass. I just stand there for a second and admire it. That ass, I hear Wes Willies, which snap at my lust. She stands back up straight and turns to see me. I look her up and down wearing exercise latex tights and tank that matches it. My eyes are clearly on my face, I hear her. I quickly look up at her face and smile randomly. So you're the one raining me, she asks. For some reason words couldn't come out my mouth. So I just nod. Cat got your tongue, she asks. Funny, I say while walk over to their patio and put my stuff on a chair. Jade P. Even though Prince was looking me up and down, I was doing the same to him. I didn't know he was tatted. He has a leg tattoo. I see it because he's wearing shorts. A snake slithering up his leg. I watch him as he put his stuff down. He kind of looks back at me and smirks, then looks at his bag and puts his phone in it. Afterwards he take his shirt off. With that I notice more tats. An angel piece on his entire back. A tribal band on his arm. And a tiger on his chest. My eyes are up here, he says as I follow his hand gesture to his face, give me a flirtatious smile. I give him frown. How dare he? He walks over to me and stands in front of me. Do you know how to fight, he asks me. I know how to punch, I tell him. Is that it, he asks. I simply nod at him. Okay, he says, stepping back. Come at me, he finishes. I stick up my fist to a fighting position. I get closer to him and throw my first punch. He quickly dodges. I throw my second punch for him to do the same as before. I throw my last punch for him to catch it and then find myself slammed to the ground. You're not fast enough, he says, standing over me. What do you mean, I ask, looking up at him. You have strength, now you need speed. Get up, he commands me. I quickly get up to find myself on the ground again. And expect the unexpected, he says with a smile. That's not fair, I tell him. No fight is fair. No doubt, he says with a deeper voice. I quickly get up and step back away from him. Nice how you remembered that I would slam you to the ground. Now shift. We're gonna work on your speed. We're taking a run, he says. I look at him a second, then quickly shift, realizing that I just ripped my clothes out. I look up to see his chocolate-colored wolf in front of me. Start running, I hear him growling out. I start to run and feel him right on my tail. Artemisia, run faster, yell at her. She soon starts to push herself. Him still catching up easily. She pushes even harder. We soon find ourselves slammed to the ground again. Damn it, I say through my wolf. Prince's wolf stands over us and looks down. He's fully calm. Get up. Jade, I hear Prince's voice. Artemisia responds quickly. If I was the evil guy and you were on his ground, I would have done whatever I want to you. Then rip your throat out, I hear Prince again. His wolf starts to walk away and my wolf follows. We walk for a couple of minutes to see a stream. Drink. You need it, Prince commands me. Artemisia quickly gulps up water. We'll do one more run. Then head back to your house, Prince says. Prince's wolf starts to run and my wolf starts to follow. Don't get behind and don't lose me, Prince tells me. My wolf keeps up with him for a while until he starts to speed up. My wolf pushes and pushes but can't keep up with him. Out of nowhere he disappears. My wolf comes to complete stop and starts to look around for Prince's wolf. Where did he go? She hears some cracks behind her and starts to run away from it. His wolf is on our tails again. My wolf looks back to see the chocolate wolf. He stops out of nowhere while we still run. She looks back to the front and runs into a gate tree. As soon as we run into the tree, we fall, and so does the tree. Timber. And ouch. I told you to not lose me, Prince says. Fuck you, I yell at him. I hear Prince laughs through his wolf and walks over to me laying down. He looks down at me, then licks me on my ear. I quickly get up to look at him. Come on, he says. We make it back to my house to see my mom sitting on one of the chairs on the patio. She stood up as soon as she sees me. She grabs a towel from the table and throws it to my wolf. My wolf goes behind a tree and I quickly shift back and put the towel around me. I come out to meet Prince wearing his shorts. Lucky. We sit at the table with my mom. How did it go, my mom asks. It was horrible. He kept tackling me and slamming to the ground. And I slammed into the tree and the poor thing fell over, I tell my mom. My mom starts to chuckle. What I say to her? Did you expect it to be easy? Prince is the perfect trainer for you, she says. She looks over at Prince and smiles. Did you lick her, she asks him. Yep, he says, smirking. What I said. Nothing, Princess, she says, getting up and going into the house. We wait until she closed the door. Do you know the reason why I was hard on you, he asks. Why, I ask annoyed. You need to win the fight with the enemy. I need you to live. I need to see you after you fight him. Because if I don't, I will die inside, he says, standing up. Wow, that's kind of sweet of him to say that. Prince, wait, I said, standing up as well, then walk over to him. I want myself to live too. Not for me, but for you, I continued. Without thinking, I hug him, then let go to look up at him. He looks at me for a second, then bends over a little to give me a soft kiss. He pulls back to look at me again, then gives me a soft smile. He takes a step back and starts to walk off. He stops in his tracks and looks back at me. See you later, Princess, he says, smiling at me. Then he walks into the house. I knew he was gone when I walked in. My maid kissed me. I smiled thinking of it. Chapter 23. Jade P. Oh, I've been training with Prince for a whole week. Nothing is getting easier, considering I'm still being slammed to the ground. Today I'll be training with him again after school, but I'm in volleyball getting ready for class. I overheard the girls from the other side of the locker room. When I heard I kind of just ignored it, because I'm used to people talking about me. Since I'm number 1 in our class, they just can't stand it. A few minutes later, I happened to hear Prince's name. Okay, now I'm listening. Oh my god. I believe Prince is officially the hottest guy here now, one girl that's named Stephanie says. True. A Brazilian hottie another girl says. I wonder who he's going to ask to prom, Stephanie wonders. Keep wondering, bitch. Because he's mine. I'm finding myself getting angry at them talking about Prince. You know what? I should calm down before I do something I'll regret. Girls, time to hit the gym, we all hear our coach. Once in the gym, I kept eyeballing Stephanie and the other girl. They happened to be on the other side of the net. Perfect. I'll get them. After setting up everything, we all happened to see the soccer boys come in and sit on the bleachers in the same gym. I look over to see Prince smiling at me. My attention turns back to volleyball when I hear the whistler. The ball comes towards me. I serve it to the other side. I happen to be in the very back. So, when the ball came back over, I dived for it and hit as hard as I could, making it go back to the other side. Great job, Jade, I hear the coach call out. The ball comes back over without the other girls on my side knowing it. I ran to the front for it and hit even harder then before making it hit Stephanie on her head. Oh wow, she yells out, giving me the evil eye. Jade, step back to your position, I hear the coach call me out. I did what she told me to do. We continued and the ball came my way. I quickly served it and this time it hit Stephanie in the face. She got so angry. She climbed under the net and walked over to me and got in my face. Chill out, Jade, or else, she says to me. Or else sweat and get out my face, I tell her. Step back, Stephanie, the coach yells. I had enough of you. With your perfection, she says. When she said that, something in me changed. I was angry. You're nothing. You're just a spoiled, ugly brat, she continues. Stephanie, shut it, the coach runs over. You fucking ghost, she finishes. When I was about to get my hands on her, I felt an arm go around my waist and pulls me away from Stephanie. That turns me around. Then I see Prince. He was angry. Let me go so I can beat the shit out of her, I said through my teeth. You are not fighting and you will not getting in trouble for some messy little slut. He looks me in the eye. He pulls me in for a hug and for some reason the smell of his scent calmed me completely down. Stephanie, break, my coach yells at her. She stomps away to go sit on the bleachers. My coach then walks up to Prince and I. Jade, break on. You worked hard enough today. Just hit the showers, my coach says in the low calm voice. I'm now in the showers. Nice that I've gotten here first while everyone else is working out. I get hot water. I finished up by washing my hair and step out into my flip-flops and wrapped the towel around me. Then I start walking. I've only taken a couple of steps when out of nowhere the lights go out. When they came back on, they were extra D and then they were blinking rapidly. I could barely see, but I felt someone or something was in here with me. I turn around, I see a tall figure as it walks closer to me. I could figure out its face. Maddox Brady. Faded Nate. Light splashed around me and my room spun with the beat of the heavy techno music the DJ was playing. I turned back around to start running. I couldn't get far when he grabbed my hair. He jolted my head back, making me fall to my knees. You can't run from me, he says with his deep voice surprisingly calm. He keeps a hold of my hair and walks around to kneel down in front of me. As he does that, I hold the towel tighter around me. Incredible. You look just like your mother. But your hair is black and your eyes are blue, he looks at me. I just stayed silent while trying my best to look away from him. Looks like I need to keep you alive after all, he says. He slides his free hand down my arm. You'll be a fun challenge, he says, getting close to my face. I close my eyes to avoid eye contact. The grip is gone from my hair and I felt him gone. I opened my eyes and looked around to make sure. He really is gone. I need to quickly getting dressed and get out of here. Later that day, Price circles around me as if he were about to attack me. He soon lunges at me with full force. And what surprised me is that I finally dodged it. "Good job, princess," he says to me. He starts to walk towards me smiling and then stops in his tracks and growls at me. "Is this part of training?" I ask. "Hell no," he says while sniffing towards me and walking closer to me. "How did I not catch this earlier?" he asks. "Catch what?" I ask. "You smell like another wolf," he says, stopping in front of me. "Who is that?" "Who were you with?" he asks. "Raid paid a visit. He scared the living shit out of me," I tell him. "He touched you?" he asks, scrolling. "Yes, he yanked at my hair when I tried to run away," I tell him. He smells me one more time. "I'm going to remember that smell. For future preferences," he says. After that we continued training. While finishing up training, my mom runs out the house. "Jade, Prince, I need to speak to both of you," she says. "Yes," I reply, turning to her. "You need to form a pact," she says. Prologue in third person. Prince's father Raphael walks into Raid's study and sits in the chair in front of him. "Raphael, very good to see you," Raid says. "Cut off the sweet talk." "I'm here for business," Raphael says rudely. "So, I've noticed that you've been trying to look for your sons for many years." "Am I correct?" Raid says. And Raphael asks, "I've happened to find your youngest close by here. He's being held captive and I am willing to help you save him with a little price," Raid says. "That's impossible for Junior. To be held captive. What price are you willing to take?" Raphael says. "The question is, what are you willing to pay?" Raid asks. "Any price. And I am willing to pay extra if you find Raul and Rico as well," Raphael says. "Okay. The price is you joining my pack." Raid gives an evil smile. "I already have a pack," Raphael said. "I know. But this will be a temporary pack," Raid says. "Okay," Raphael agrees. "Also, I need your help on getting very smart and powerful wolves from your pack," Raid says. For what Raphael asks for. "Now I'm willing to throw a discount in for a young girl that can go with you back to Brazil." "She will be all yours," Raid says. "Let me see her," Raphael says, leaning back into the chair. "Bring her in," Raid tells a wolf servant. "Yes, master," he says, going to get Kate. A few moments later, the servant brings in Kate. "She's skinny," Raphael says, looking at her. "You Brazilians sure do love fat girls," Raid says, chuckling. "What does fat mean?" "I just love something I can grab," Raphael says, smirking. "Take the offer, I'll leave her here with me," Raid says. "What can she do?" Raphael asks. "I know how much you love sex, and she's not really good at that." "She's pretty good at cleaning and cooking. She's very respectful. But she's kind of shy," Raid tells Raphael. Raphael turns to Kate. Kate was shaking with fear. "I'll leave her here with you," Raphael says, turning back to Raid. "But I will be a part of your pack and I will get my smartest and strongest wolves here." "I have 7 of them," Raphael says, getting up. "Perfect," Raid says, getting up as well. "Happy to do business with you," he continues while shaking Raphael's hand. Raphael leaves the room. "Contact Alexander Bonnet of France and put the girl back in the kitchen," Raid commands his servant. "Yes, master," he says, walking out with Kate. Thank you all for joining me in the wild world of Wild Werewolf. I hope you had an amazing time. Don't forget to subscribe, leave your comments and likes, and come back for more wild adventures. See you next time.